There we go. Bring it back in. See how they mess with me? It's like they have some way in the algorithm to sense when you're playing those GTV videos, and they're so, it's like set to screw up your stream. There was actually something said yesterday, I believe it was on a Timcast IRL channel. Maybe it was one of his channels. That YouTube is like actively throttling and actively censoring conservative, like hardcore over this weekend. So it doesn't surprise me that they're doing it again, but it only happened as soon as I pressed play on that GTV video. And it's crazy. So I'll wait a few minutes so everybody can come back in and then I'll keep going. Excuse me. Oh, it's terrible. I don't know. I'm never going to go away, I feel sometimes. And that's another, sometimes I feel worse today because of that thing we were talking about on the last stream, guys, Nikki. I feel worse today on that, health-wise. Like I have more health issues today than I ever did during my addiction. It's kind of strange. It's almost like it keeps me going back to the doctors. So, hey, all right, here we go. Oh, I got a boo-boo. You see it? Oh, well, shit happens. So, let's see if it happens again.
Age girls. So where did the girls who became Hunter Biden sex slaves come from? How did they get into the United States? Where are they now? Are they alive? On October 16, 2020, the New York Post released a report that implied behind all the craziness of Hunter Biden's life lies a painful soul. Luda Media also mentioned on the October 16th broadcast that this New York Post report reveals just a little bit more. That Hunter Biden...
They did it again! Oh, this happened the other night. 3 times it cut off. Watch. It's going to do it again. Maybe not. I'm irritated. Like, I can't even show you guys what I have to show you. That Chinese whistleblower, because YouTube algorithm controls everything. I can describe it to you, I suppose, but I'm not going to. So I'm going to hang on a minute. I shook it off, so it shouldn't work. It shouldn't shut off now. But every time I turn, I can't play anything from GTV, guys. Period. Anyway, I'll just do it like this. Okay, this is the thread, guys. You can know it's archived. You can't reply to it anymore. But when this first came out and when they were breaking it down on 4chan, they were talking about this is called the matter of fact, there's an article on it there's called the Q area. Believe it or not, that's not something they can block me for. It's the literal name up by the Finger Lakes called the Q area. And the reason it's called the Q area, hold on, I'm going to pull it up, is because there's a shit ton of bunkers there. Okay, let me see here. And the other thing is they have the image mirrored on here, so forgive some of the comments. Is this, yeah, right here. I think this is it. Where's the one that said, my God? He resigned from Trump. What? Holy cow, there's a lot of stuff there. Anyway, I'll go back to that in a minute. There's one that says, holy effing, hang on. This is a Q area. I want to show you that one. And once I show you that one, then I will go back. What do you want, Carmen? Now you want to go out, do you? Huh. Maybe it already got changed. A lot of stuff about trafficking. I thought it was where it explained why they called this the Q area. Maybe I pulled up the wrong one. Oh, there is there was prohibition smuggler and slaves tunnels because there was an underground tunnel, underground slave. What do you call it? The Underground Railroad. There you go. Went through there. So there was they used all those same tunnels and shit now for sex trafficking and human trafficking. There was this thing that said, bunkers. Hang on. It says, no, I don't guess that these tunnels are marked on maps, but any here can explain these gray lines like in link related. And it shows like there's these gray lines down the map that look like there's just something there, but it doesn't explain what it is. It just is on the map, but it doesn't have like a road marked or anything there. It's just there. Hang on. What's this one say? U.S. Army to spend 500 million training soldiers to fight underground. Yeah, I did a video on that like 2 years ago. So they're saying like that's going, and I know that there's a lot of Army stuff going on up in the Finger Lakes too. Just like when they say that that's going on up there, I believe that just as well. But that doesn't mean I don't believe one doesn't have to do with the other. Human trafficking and underground Army stuff going on together doesn't surprise me at all. Amelia Biden. Oh yeah, his mother. His mother was born there and she died there. Hunter Biden's mom was born and died in the Finger Lakes. But anyway, up in the beginning, I explained like the whole Q area. It had bunkers. Sorry, I was just looking for that and I can't seem to find it now. I don't know why. Maybe I passed it. One more time. I'm gonna look. It says something about. That's not it. Q area. Boom. How did I pass that? There. Here we go. Oh, Precious is here. Hi, Precious. Check this out, guys. Seneca Army Depot maintained a stockpile of nuclear weapons through the Cold War in this highly secured area. Oh, it's too big. Hold on. Let me go down just a little bit. Oh, I ain't gonna let me do it. You son of a bitch. It's known as Romulus, New York, Seneca Q area. That's what it's called. See it? Seneca Q area. Hey. And they kept nuclear weapons here, guys. It's a weapons depot. So look at all the underground shit that's going on through here. All this marking is all underground stuff. Okay? View larger map. Let's see. They're saying it's a Monster Energy tattoo, but it is not a Monster Energy tattoo. That has got way more markings than Monster Energy. So then some people are like, oh my God, Hunter Biden is 17. No, he is not. No, he's not. So anyway, we'll go on because I got more. But I can't play the video for you like I wanted to. So anyway, don't forget this, guys. His own stepdaughter / niece, Joe Biden's granddaughter, Nat, 7 days ago. This was posted. It was taken in August, but apparently they've kind of debunked the pregnancy rumors because that's an Empire cut shirt and it's just the way she's sitting, blah, blah, blah. The point is, look at the face as she reads the book about her family's corruption. And tell me she's not just as fed up with it as Hunter is. Hunter and her and the rest of the family have been put in the middle to make money for Pops. Well, Pops just gives them the last name to use. It does, Carly. The whole family needs help. Do you want to go out there? Well, come on, let's go so I can finish. Come on. You always cut me in the middle, Carly. You catch me. I asked you before. You want to go out before I start? No. Never want to go out before I start. Always want to go out in the middle. Sorry, guys. There we go. All right. Oh, sorry. We did the Pope one okay, Smoky. What's this one? Guess what? It says forensic analysis has been done on the Hunter Biden email, the smoking gun email. And guess what? It's 100% authentic. An email Hunter Biden received in April 2015 from a Burisma executive discussing an introduction to VP Joe Biden, which lies at the heart of the New York Post investigation, is unquestionably authentic for any of you loony liberals coming here saying, well, it's debunked. It hasn't been verified. It hasn't been sourced. Yeah, no, it's been forensically analyzed and it's unquestionably authentic. Says a cybersecurity expert. Okay. The DCNF obtained a full copy of the DCNF, Daily Caller News Foundation, obtained a full copy of Hunter Biden's alleged laptop from former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani on Wednesday and provided Robert Graham, the founder of the cybersecurity firm Arata Security, with a copy of the email and its metadata for forensic analysis. This is the important one because this is where they distinct. This is not about Hunter Biden. This is about his dad who's running for president, who tomorrow could possibly somehow steal this election. And we need to know that if that happens, that this man needs to be investigated because he obviously was involved in these illegal dealings, these backdoor deals that his kid was doing with the Biden name, with foreign countries, with the Chinese Communist Party, with our enemies, with Russia, with these places that we're supposed to not, that we as the Americans would have to get a foreign, what is it called there when you have to register to be doing business in foreign countries, that he would have had to do that with each one of them to be doing it correctly. So, all right, hang on here. Let me figure this out. Hunter, thank you for inviting me to DC and giving me an opportunity to meet your father. Spend some time together. It's real tea. It's real tea and honor and a pleasure. As we spoke yesterday evening, it would be great to meet today for a quick coffee. What do you think? I could come to your office somewhere around noon or so, before or on my way to the airport. Best, V. V as in Vadim Poharski. Guy from Burisma. Had some meeting with his daddy, met your father, opportunity to meet your father, for giving me the opportunity to meet your father. Okay. Joe Biden specifically said, I had no idea. I never even spoke to my son about these business dealings. This email was sent less than a year before Joe Biden pressured the former Ukrainian president Petro Poroshenko to fire a prosecutor who was reportedly investigating that same gas company, Burisma, in return for $1 billion loan guarantee. Remember? I told him that he had 6 hours before I got on that plane and left, and the money was going with me. And he said, well, you're not the president. And I told him, go ahead and call. And guess what? That son of a bitch was fired. Yeah, remember that bragging? He'll never live that down. He'll regret that cocky comment he made at the CFR for the rest of his life. Mark my words. Because that investigation is far underway. Graham previously told DCNF that emails sent from Gmail, such as Poharski's message to Hunter Biden, can absolutely be verified beyond a shadow of a doubt by testing its contents against the unique DKMI signature found in its metadata. What is Kate's favorite word? Metadata. If you've known me since my Kanika Jenkins days, then you know that if you can't prove it with the metadata, then you don't really have proof. At the end of the day, that's the one thing you cannot alter without getting caught. Graham used this signature within the email to verify a private key on Google servers that the sender, recipient, subject, date, and body of the message obtained from Giuliani were unchanged from when the email was originally sent on 4/2/2015. Okay? Says the Hunter Biden emails could be absolutely verified if Rudy Giuliani released the metadata, expert says. That's another article. So there's more than one article about this metadata. If you have any questions or you have any family members who are still questioning this laptop and the emails involved, show them this. Because this has been out for 3 days. And I guarantee the news isn't covering it. I can promise you it's not. I haven't heard it anywhere. Okay, so hang on. We're going to talk about, since tomorrow's election day, I want to talk about some things that I've been watching that's scaring the shit out of me. Let's start here. New Jersey.
Well, as we count down to Election Day, the News 4 I-team has been tracking voting problems across the tri-state. And tonight, a disturbing discovery in New Jersey, where dozens of ballots were thrown into a dumpster, along with thousands of pieces of other mail. News 4's Linda Baccaro is on that case in West Orange, New Jersey. And Linda, what do we know about these ballots?
Well, we know that there's an arrest in this case now, and residents here in West Orange are irate after hearing about the arrest and the discovery of these ballots, especially in a state which is running its election vote primarily by mail. Nearly 2,000 pieces of mail were found dumped by these containers in North Arlington on Friday, and among them, 99 election ballots and 276 campaign flyers for candidates in the West Orange Town Council and Board of Education. The 26-year-old man arrested is the only carrier assigned to deliver mail to those addresses. He appeared in Newark federal court today on one count of delay of mail and one count of obstruction of mail. Now, a spokesperson for the U.S. Postal Service says the mail was reported, collected, and delivered, and the matter was then turned over to the U.S. Postal Service's Office of Inspector General. The mail was headed to addresses in Orange and West Orange, and as I said, they've now been delivered, but residents here upset with this news.
You know, and I've heard of it happening, not this particular instance, but that's really unfortunate.
Well, it's not good to hear that. It certainly.
But now they're regretting it because a lot of the post offices actually did their shit the right way, and that the early vote count's coming out in Trump's favor.
I have skepticism about a lot of things today.
Yeah, everybody does. I bet you she just put that mask on.
Wondering what the motivation was behind this all, and in court, the government stated on the record that the evidence at this time does not indicate that the defendant's actions were politically motivated. But
why else would he do it?
$25,000.
Why? Why else would he dump his whole
maximum penalty?
His mail in the truck, the dumpster?
$250,000.
Come on.
Obstruction of mail up to 6 months and a $5,000 fine.
That don't even make any sense.
West Orange, I'm Linda Vaccaro, News 4, New York.
All right, stop there. Don't go to that one yet. Okay. Really quick.
Well,
hang
as
on.
we count down to Election Day, the News 4 I-Team has been tracking voting patterns across the...
There we go. Okay, and really quick, I'm gonna have. This is why I'm concerned, because this isn't the only case. There's a few things going on that. Okay, right here. Boom. Fraudster attempts to register dozens of dead Democrats as voters in Broward County. This is the Sun Sentinel, which usually has got a little better thing. This is usually. Hang on a second. I'm gonna reset it. Yeah, no, thank you. I guess not. Okay. So anyway, authorities have encountered. Why would you have a big black square? What in God's name is that helping? You know what I mean? Anyway, authorities uncovered and attempted to register dozens of people as Democratic voters in Broward County, though officials have said no mail-in ballots were requested or cast under the falsified voter IDs. The scheme exposes the weaknesses in Florida's voter registration process. 54 new voter applications in July were submitted in the same neat handwriting to the Broward County office. So they were all in the same handwriting, several in each of 19 envelopes. Many of the voters were elderly and had recently died in the Northeast, yo. Yes, I saw the fake Kamala. I sure did. Almost all of them were flagged by the Broward County office staff as suspicious. We cannot comment on ongoing criminal investigation. Three of them evaded detection and were indeed added to the voter rolls. So 3 made it through, and out of those 3, 2 of the people had died in June, guys. June. And I know people are like, oh, it's just this and that. But all those little ones, like, this happened if this happens in every city across the country, even though it's only 3 or 2 or 4 or 5 or 6, it adds up. President Trump only won by like 400,000 votes last time. That's not a lot or maybe it was 40,000. I don't know. It was not a lot of votes. It was like that in the thousands. I know that. So we can't afford for any of these things to happen. United States Post, this is the one, I think this is the New Jersey one. This is the post office worker that got charged in a mass mail-in voting. Let's see, another consequence of mass mail-in voting that liberals prefer to ignore has been realized. You don't have to do more than a Google search to find countless examples of ballots being discarded or destroyed. One more recent example of a Boston man setting fire to a ballot drop box on Sunday. That case is being currently investigated by the FBI. It says a former Deshaun Bozier, a former employee, is facing federal charges of obstruction of correspondence for trashed more than 100 absentee mail-in ballots, and then a whole bunch of other mail. which that's the one I think I just read to you or showed you on the news about. So that's that. And then, hang on, let me close that. Ouch. And then this is Pennsylvania. FBI. Look, these are all different, guys. This isn't all one case. This is all different. Hi, Sean. Oh no, yeah, they're buying the boat. They're buying the ballots up for Sean at $800 a pop, aren't they, Sean? $800 a pop. The Somalis are buying the ballots for. Yep. Project Veritas caught that. Go check them out. They got the videos. Of course, this isn't going to play because it's Donald Trump, and he's being honest about the election. So they don't want it. They don't want to play because it's New York Post too. Hang on, let me restart it. FBI investigates ballots found for Trump found in a Pennsylvania garbage. Let's check this out. Round 2. Yeah, they cut me off in the middle. Yeah. You know it. As soon as I played that one of them GTV videos on H. Biden. Gotta watch what I say.
The other ones had the Trump name on it, and they were thrown into a waste paper basket. We want to make sure the election is honest.
Oh, they only got 200 and forced the elderly to pay him. Wow.
This whole situation, unsolicited ballots. There are unsolicited millions being sent to everybody, and we'll see. But if you remember, Hillary Clinton just a week ago or so told Joe Biden, do not accept the results of the election under any circumstances. But you don't ask her that question. You only ask me the question.
That's true. It'd be the truth. So I got some good stuff I want to go over too. No, not just the bad stuff. I got some good stuff. So let me get rid of some of this. Here's another one. This is Pittsburgh, guys. A local one more, okay? This is how all these are separate cases. This one is because he threw out ballot applications and political ads, okay? So that's a Pittsburgh guy threw out dozens of political ads and ballot applications. So I have tons of that. Heads up. This was said in Miami the other night, real quick. I'm not going to read the whole article, just let you know they're scared. They're scared. They're scared. So, yeah. I almost can't even say that, but yeah, the Florida's most populous county are sweating weak early voting. I told you the early voting is, they're wishing they hadn't done this now, this whole early vote everywhere and the mail-in votings and all. They were supposed to take that. That was supposed to get by them there. Yes, I did show the fraud in Texas. Yeah. I showed that when I first came on this morning. I think we started out with Texas today because I've been watching that because they also did a 2-week go. They said for the next 2 weeks, I want everybody to stay in your homes. I think it was like, where was it, guys? No, it was, shit. I don't remember. I showed it the other day first. We started it because they had a big COVID-19 surge, they said. So they said it happened to be a city, a Democratic city, and the mayor was like, look, you guys need to stay in your house for like 2 weeks. And I'm like, 2 weeks? That's through the election. Why you're scaring them not to come out and vote. And then boom, lo and behold, as soon as that happens, there was a bunch of frauds that took place right after that. And I'm like, oh, so this is why they want people to stay home so that other people can go with their fake ballots and vote. Gotcha. But yeah, and I want to talk. This is really crazy. I don't know how you guys are going to feel about it, but we're going to get there in 1 second. Hold on. So get rid of this. Okay. Did you guys watch this the other night? First of all, this was actually from September, the actual article I'm showing you right now, but she was on Tucker Carlson the other night. And before I show you her Tucker Carlson interview, I need you to understand that like she was on there because of her support for Donald Trump. This is Osama bin Laden's niece, Noor bin Laden. Okay? And she has carried the bin Laden name since the attack when she was 14 years old. Okay? And she's actually, if you actually watch her, she has her own channel and her own, like, she tells her own story. She's an amazing patriot. She tells her story about how, her mother left, the father is who is Osama's brother. Her father is Osama's brother. But her mother took the kids and got away from them when she was real young, and there's a whole story behind it. But she's had to carry that bin Laden name around for ever and ever, right? And she said she has had more attacks, and it has been harder for her to come out as a Donald Trump conservative supporter. She's had more attacks, more fear, more threats against her life than when her uncle took down the Twin Towers and the Pentagon and all so on and so forth, as they say. We'll just preach the narrative right now rather than get into that whole rabbit hole. However, she came on Tucker Carlson and she said, without Donald Trump, he is the only one that can stop another 9/11. Obama's niece says this man is the only one that knows how to stop another 9/11. That's not going to cause one that will stop it. And get up there and look what they call her. What do you think they called her? That's the second person today that I've showed you. They called the Pope a QAnon the Cardinal Catholic the Archbishop. They call him a QAnon conspiracy theorist now, right? Because of the letter he sent to Donald Trump warning of the takeover of basically the entire world by use of lockdowns and the virus and universal incomes and vaccines and whatnot. So he's now called a QAnon conspiracy theorist. Well, now so is Noor bin Laden, which I find ridiculous. Osama bin Laden's niece, Noor bin Laden, was interviewed by the New York Post and appeared on Tucker Carlson's Fox News show to endorse Trump. And I'm not going to read all of her stuff because it's really, I watched it yesterday and it's really long. She talks about the pandemic. They call it, conspiracy, so on. That's what they call it, pandemic conspiracy. She lives in Switzerland. However, she spends part of her year, since she was 14, she was one of the, she watched the bin Ladens get shipped out of here on 9/11. She was not one of the ones. She had no protection, no security threats. She was the only bin Laden with a registered phone number in the United States, in Europe. And they literally, her brother and her mother or her sister and her mother were, threatened and they had to go into hiding and whatnot. They had no security. But yeah, her father and the rest of the family that they had abandoned, they all had security and were flown out. So anyway, here she is. Though I'm not a U.S. citizen, my heart is red, white, and blue, and I am in this with you. And it goes on. They say she's a QAnon conspiracy theorist. Why? Because she puts where we go on, we go all, and blah, blah, blah. So what? So what if there's some things in there that she finds legit? I have been in the same boat as her. I find some things very asinine, but I also find a lot of it to be legit. But of course, they break it down to some bullshit. Oh, El Paso, bam, that's what now I saw it. El Paso is where they had the surge and they were locking down and telling everybody to stay home for the 2 weeks. But anyway, 27 candidates, including 25 Republicans who have endorsed QAnon, are congressional ballots in November. Are you kidding me? This is from Media Matters, guys. That's how useful that statement is, if that helps you. Again, from Media Matters. There are over a dozen instances of Fox News' biggest stars amplifying, in some cases, openly embracing the QAnon conspiracy theory. Anybody uses the word conspiracy theory is deep state. Period. They're spinning a narrative. The second they use this word, they are spinning a narrative. They are trying to attack you with a word that wants to shame you and shut you up. Don't shut up. Anyhow, quickly, I think I saved. Hang on. Let me come over here. I think I saved a bit of. See history. Give me a second. My dog's back there drinking water, of course. Sorry, guys. Here we go.
That's 10 points or more. The polls are prescriptive rather
Hang on.
Me and
Guys, this is Noor bin Laden on Paul Joseph Watson. I don't want to steal too much of it, but I want to show you, like, if you notice in the background, it's Epoch Times. That was the newspaper, Nikki. That was the news I was telling you about, other than Sky News that I watch or Bree. Epoch Times because they are very, very unbiased, very honest. They give President Trump his props. They call him on any shit. When it comes to the investigations, they break it down so every average Joe on the street can understand it. Okay, so let's show you the fake Kamala Harris real quick first. Here you go. Here's your fake Kamala Harris, so you have a good time. Have fun, guys. Watch. Here it is.
That's not Kamala Harris. That doesn't even look like her.
Yeah, the desperation levels coming from these lefties is palpable, my friends. These guys are panicking. He's like, oh my
Heads up, Salty Cracker, my absolute favorite YouTuber.
God. There's Trump supporters out there. Where are they at? They fucking everywhere. Oh my God. The early results from a lot of places have put these dipshits into such a panic.
Hey, Evelyn.
I think that they're actually digging deep and putting out
Kamala.
body doubles in different
In the real-
places.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Kamala in a minute. I got it up here.
Laura Loomer was out in Florida, and she was like, "Hey, look, there's Kamala Harris." She goes, "Hold on, but she's not blowing anybody, and she's not cackling, and she's not wearing Chucks, boys." I think she wasn't dancing and wearing Chucks. I think that's probably what set Laura Loomer off, or probably the fact that the chick looks nothing like Kamala Harris. But anyway, Laura Loomer outs this idiot, and this idiot runs back into the stretch limo with the two bodyguards that look like Secret Service, and I'm sitting there going, there's no cameras around. And maybe there's people in the limo cameraing this thing up or something.
Yeah,
like that.
I guarantee it's a YouTube thing.
Is this an Instagram influencer? Or is this person being paid by the Democrats to whip up fake enthusiasm for a dying party? Time will tell, my friends. Time will tell. But take a look at this. We're over here at the Gateway Pundit. Holy crap. Fake Kamala got Loomered. Laura Loomer catches Kamala Harris body double at Palm Springs polling place. We got some videos and photos. On Sunday, a stretch limo pulled up and a Kamala Harris lookalike jumped out to take photos and fool voters at a voting site with a lot of black and Hispanic voters. Ruh-roh. Kamala Harris was in the state on Saturday. The Biden campaign said that they would be campaigning in Florida on Sunday. As the lookalike for the 2016 hot dog eating champion of the world was taking pictures with voters, Laura Loomer outed her as a fake. Laura Loomer
I love Laura Loomer.
That's not Kamala Harris. That's very deceptive to the voters. The fake Kamala Harris fled the scene.
Who thinks Kamala Harris sent a body double? She figured, forget it. Nobody's going to know. They got a mask on anyway. We just need to get me a body double that looks close enough to me that with a mask on won't know the difference. Who thinks Kamala Harris, whatever she wants to be, sent a body double out to take pictures with voters so she could be two places at once, or she didn't have to go do it. I wonder if she had anything to do with it at all, because that is so freaking ridiculous. Like, how else would it be possible? Like, Laura Loomer is a conservative, and if she had to call it out, the only thing that it could be is like a Instagram or a YouTube prank video. But they said there was no cameras around.
When she was exposed,
there was no cameras around. She said, yes, they had 4 Hillarys, Angel, 4.
Very deceptive to the voters.
If you read all the WikiLeaks in the WikiLeaks, there is actually up to 3 body doubles and Hillary. So, yeah, it's crazy. They've used 3 different women.
Very deceptive. It's a fake Kamala Harris.
See, it's not like it's a bunch of kids, you guys. That was adults. That wasn't kids. That wasn't like a pranky type. Look at them. They're walking away slowly in their suits with their masks on, like it's Secret Service, going back to their limo. There's no cameras watching. There's no, you're on candid camera. None of that, right? So doesn't this make you feel like she literally sent this person down there on purpose to take pictures like a body double and hope to get away that it was her, Kamala Harris?
To send body doubles out. Very deceptive. It's a fake Kamala Harris.
Very dishonest.
Wow.
That might be the best case scenario for this clusterfuck. If the DNC paid for this, if the Kamala Harris and the Joe Biden campaign paid and set this up, this is racist. This is racist. Take a look. So this is a polling place in Florida that a lot of minorities are going to. Now, the minorities are the place in Florida that are panicking the Democrat elite.
It sure is,
Joe
Nikki.
Biden is not doing well with the
I imagine it
Cubanos,
is.
with the black people in Florida. And so did these shitheads sit around a table and sit there and go, You know what we should do?
I bet you Dan
We
Bongino
should
knows if it's
hire
illegal
a
or not.
fake body double. Let's go trick those dumb minorities,
Excuse me, sorry.
apparently, by sending them
Soda.
a fake impersonator in order to gin up a little bit of enthusiasm. Did that go down? Is that what happened in this situation? You better fucking hope that this was a YouTube prank. You better hope that this was a TikTok at this point, because if it's not, it looks like the Joe Biden campaign thinks so little of minorities that they won't bother to send the real Kamala Harris down to this area. No, they ain't got time to do that. They ain't going to waste valuable time and resources of the venerable Kamala Harris and her knee pads. Ain't gonna send to this shithole polling place. No. We will hire a fake lookalike who's doing a very piss poor job, by the way, and we'll send her. There you go. There's some fucking crumbs for you, black people. Vote for us. This is how highly we regard you. Dan, you better hope that this was some shithead doing a stupid prank, but I don't know. Money went into this. There's a stretched limo. This idiot's got 2 other people with her. And on top of all of this, we have either a Facebook or an Instagram post where this idiot is looking for people to help her with this charade. Take a look at this. A couple of days ago, the Kamala lookalike posted on Facebook looking for one Secret Service type male or female actor. And I don't know why this has been blurred out. This dipshit put this out for the public to see, and we need to know who this person is, because there's some investigation that needs to be done. But this is the post that says, Palm Beach County, Florida. Looking for one Secret Service type male or female actor with black suit. We can supply glasses and tie. In PBC for this Sunday, 1 to 5 hours to work with another Secret Service person of color, I'm sure, to flank me as Kamala.
Wow.
Pay isn't great, but snacks and a ride in this cool limo included. This was funded. Somebody paid for this. This cost
What
money.
Yo, there you go. Salty Cracker just exposed it right there. It was fake. It was so the campaign literally did this. Yo, why is this?
Paid for this?
It better be
because
talked
this could
about
be
today.
some epic levels of bullshit shenanigans, and I got a weird feeling, man. Again, the video of this. There is nobody with cameras around, right? So if there's nobody with cameras around, this would make for a horrible YouTube video.
It's not like they ran off laughing.
Did the DNC pay for this? Did Joe Biden? We need the name of this individual. And again, I don't know why it's blurred out. For use as far as I'm concerned.
See?
And again, maybe the FBI. Since apparently you're done looking at Hunter Biden's laptop, I guess you guys figured no more investigation needed for that.
No
Get
more
them
child
looking
prawn on
for
Hunter
this,
Biden's
because
laptop.
This smells like shit over here.
I already showed you that.
Everybody's going to see.
All right, guys. I don't want to see any more of his content. Salty's the best. Go subscribe, watch him. That's why I try not to go live when he's live, because I'm watching him. All right. And let me go back to my here we go. Here we go. This is that this is Paul Joseph Watson with Noor Bin Laden, the niece of Osama bin Laden, guys. And she is a Donald Trump supporter, like I said. She said it's been harder for her to come out. Here's her information. She actually has her own channel. Hold on. Right. Shit, where is it? Right there. NoorBinLaden.com, right there. She has her own show, her own podcast. She does her own thing. So I don't want to steal too much, but what I wanted to show you was, hang on, her heart rate.
As far as I understand, right? Seemed pretty nerve-wracking. That was your
She was on
first
Tucker Carlson right
live
here.
interview.
Hang on, did you see what it said? Hang on. One more time. Asshole.
That's 10 points or more. Polls are prescript in the description below. The niece of 9/11 terror mastermind Osama bin Laden, and a person in her
Hang
own
on, I'm
right.
going to pause it as soon as it comes up.
Noor, welcome.
Thanks, Paul. Nice to see you.
Now, I saw you a few days ago on Tucker Carlson. This is going to be someone.
See it? Bin Laden's niece on the backlash over Trump support. Now watch what it says in a minute.
Different interview to that.
Bin Laden's niece says being pro-Trump is more problematic than carrying my uncle's name. I'm not going to go in and steal any more of Paul's interview, because this is an epic interview. It's about an hour long. If you got an hour, go watch it. This woman is her mother's story, and her story, the whole story of it is of how they ended up, you know, how she looks at America. She's always loved America, considered herself American. She's here, you know, 3/4 of the year, whatever. Oh my God, guys, White House is on lockdown. Hold on. Breaking. White House is on lockdown. massive fence erected. What the hell is going down?
According to an NBC reporter and several other reports, the White House is on lockdown. Jeff Bennett says a federal law enforcement source tells NBC that beginning tomorrow, crews will build a non-scalable fence to secure the White House complex, Ellipse, and Lafayette Square. 250 National Guardsmen have been put on standby, reporting to Metro Police officials.
Wow.
We don't know what's going to happen.
Okay. Well, that's not just it, guys. I won't steal any more Tim stuff because I already had this up ready to go for you. Washington, D.C. is prepping for attack. Thanks, Evelyn. Business in major cities across the country, including D.C., have started to board up storefronts as they prepare for post-election civil unrest. The sounds of power tools cutting plywood could be heard Friday morning as presidential election winds down. Earlier reports this month found D.C. police purchased $100,000 in tear gas, preparing for civil unrest in the upcoming months. Chicago, L.A., New York City, Philly, Rochester, up by me. It's not in this article, but believe me, they went crazy here during the last riots. Anybody that wants to take advantage of looting, that's exactly what is happening. It's all about they wait until there is a riot or a protest, and then boom, they send down somebody to start smashing up windows or set a fire so that the police are distracted, and they all come at once because they know if hundreds come, 10 police can't stop them. If thousands come, 100 police can't stop them. And they just hit all the stores at once while they can. Are they planned operations? Absolutely. They are, and some of them are planned. I watched them be planned right on freaking Facebook. They plan it. Somebody's driving. There's always a driver, so they got somewhere to load up their merchandise in. And the funniest one of all, I wish I had it up again, the one I showed you guys the other day of the guy who looted and loaded his car up with flat screen TVs and all this loot. And guess what? As he was going back to get the rest of his loot, some guy came along and said, "Oh, look at that, a car full of loot," and stole his freaking car and all his loot. That's what you get. It's called karma. Matter of fact, 1 second. Before I get to that, I need to show you guys one thing because I gotta let my dogs back in anyway. But I gotta show you guys one thing. Hang on. Let me go back to my playlist for you. Where's today's playlist? Here we go. Right here. See.
I'll tell you what. And he goes, "Can someone help me find it? Are you stupid, dude?"
Hang on. This is what I want you to hear. Hold on.
That's right. They're walking up to random people and just attacking them. One guy seems totally confused.
Check this out.
They knock him down, start beating on him. He drops his gun. They steal it. And he's like, what? Like totally oblivious to what's been going on in his city, like some kind of moron. Now, look, I'm not trying to be mean to the guy who got attacked. But you're going to walk around with this dumb look on your face as you're being surrounded by violent far-left rioters, and they knock you down. You drop your gun, and he goes, "Can someone help me find it? Are you stupid, dude? Have you been paying attention to what these people are doing?" Sure enough, some guy picks up and goes, "Now it's mine." And the guy's like, "Huh?" And he walks off with his gun while other people get in his face and push him back and tell him no. I'm sick and tired of it, man. Look, this kind of violence we should not allow it to be normalized. But it is. Does anyone really care? This has been going on nonstop for months and it's getting worse. I'm sure some people do. It's probably why you're watching. But most people just don't. Or maybe it's wrong. Maybe the polls are wrong. Bill Maher last night was talking about skipping the Civil War, he said, because Bill Maher is also, it kind of breaks my heart to have to say this, but wow, am I impressed at how unread Bill Maher is, being totally oblivious to what's going on around him. But I guess I got to say, the best example of this was when the Covington scandal happened with the kids in the Lincoln Memorial. And then like a week later, Bill Maher comes out and he's like, "Hey, did you see what happened with this?" And it's like, bro, that was a week ago. That was debunked. And all of the news outlets had to like issue statements and editorial notes about it. And Bill Maher still came out and was completely wrong about what had happened with Covington a week later. Wow. The dude must not actually read the news. Well, he's asking people to forego the Civil War and skip right to reconciliation. And then he tries comparing the violent looting and destruction and burning of our cities with the political looting of the
Right.
Republican Party.
So let's
I don't
move this
care
out. Hang on a
about
second,
political
guys.
looting. I don't care if Donald Trump wanted to award a contract to a company.
Sorry, I want
Wearing
to
all
see all
black,
these
waving a
cities
little flag,
all boarded
marching
up.
around screaming stupid
That's
things,
LA.
like keep people to make peace after the election. Okay, Bill. Tell me where the Trump
There's something
supporters
else I
are
was gonna show
that
you.
have been rioting for the
Right.
past
Tell me where the
5,
Trump
6
supporters are
months.
that have been shooting Biden people in the head for wearing a Biden hat. Show me them first. And then I'll tell everybody to be quiet. This isn't it either. I wanted to show you guys the thing of Melania praising the no, this is over the COVID thing. All right, here we go.
I'll tell you what's happening.
Give me a second.
Far left extremists with a broken and backwards ideology that
There it
is
is.
overtly
I got it.
racist are using it as justification to destroy the lives.
I got it. I found it. It's right here. Ivanka. It was Ivanka who did it. You know how Trump never ever gets any credit for all of the human trafficking cases that he has got, arrested, and all the human trafficking rings that he's broken up since he's been in office. Of course, that's a QAnon conspiracy theory, as they say. I'm sure now I will get demonetized for just mentioning the actual letter of the alphabet. I am not joking. Even though I already read it in a news article, I still probably will now be throttled and demonetized over that single letter, believe it or not. All right, so that's for the other cat. Sorry, hang on. Trying to feed cats at the same time I'm talking. Multitasking with you guys. So amazing Ivanka Trump invited law enforcement officers who worked on a recent human trafficking rescues on the stage to thank them, which I think is freaking amazing. It's about time that these people get some kind of recognition for all of the work that they do, especially here in this area in Ohio, because there's a lot going on. 45 children were rescued this week. 179 adults were arrested in an Ohio human trafficking sting this past week. You guys, that's almost 50 children who were rescued and 180 adults who were arrested. And if you look at the numbers, oh my God, you're so right, Nikki. And that's why I wanted to make sure I brought this up, because Ivanka, at least the Trumps are acknowledging, look, this is a big deal. This is part of who he is and what he's doing to clean up this country. You might not see it because the news doesn't care about covering it, but she does. Yes, they're tripled almost.
We just want to thank Ivanka for coming here today. And we are blessed that you are here, and we appreciate that your passion for human trafficking and for the children. Thank you.
Nice. Oh, is she gonna speak?
It's because of amazing human beings like this that we're going to stamp out this evil. And because the president is bringing the full force and weight of our government to combat it. Thank you.
That's right. He sure is. He's the first president that can't be bought out. You know what I'm saying? Like, he couldn't be compromised. I don't care what they say about what he, listen, did Trump have a thing for younger, more beautiful, supermodel type women? Absolutely. But they were all legal. They were all of age. They were all adults. He didn't have a thing for kiddies. Okay, and they could never get him because he could not be bought out. He was too smart for them. The lawyer that he had, throughout his younger years, that Cohen guy, Roy Cohen, taught him a lot about what was really going on, because Cohen, of course, being a lawyer for some of the people he was representing, knew the backdoor shit that was going on between the government, the mafia. It was a lot. And Trump got that education from him. Thank God, because of his life experience, because of his education from the people that he was educated by, he was able. Oh, you're not going back out? You're gonna stay inside? All right. He was able to not be compromised at all. His values, his nothing. They have nothing on him that we don't already know and aren't okay with. because what we do know is nothing compared to the things that Biden is accused of at all. Any of them, I mean, Joe, Hunter, either one of them, they're both accused of some pretty heinous stuff. So I promised you all we talk about Kamala and Willie today. Most of you know her history, but somebody asked me to talk about it, so I said I'd throw it in today's live. I do have one for tonight that's more of put your kids away stuff, because tomorrow's election day, so I was really I was gonna break out the F-bomb. I probably do that about 8. It depends when was today, Sunday. I think Salty is going on YouTube tonight because he does Monday. It might be, I think he's switching it up because of the election. As long as Salty's not live at 8 o'clock, I will go live. If he is live, then look for me afterwards. How about that? How 29-year-old Kamala Harris began an affair with powerful San Francisco politician Willie Brown, then 60, who was married, and then he appointed her to 2 lucrative positions only to dump her after he was voted first black mayor of the city. Yes. Okay, so it says there was plenty of surprises in store for the 50,000 revelers who flocked to Fisherman's Wharf to see Willie Brown sworn in as San Francisco's first black mayor. But it wasn't the elaborate firework display or the 10,000 meals dished out to the homeless, nor the gushing phone call from President Bill Clinton. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about Kamala Harris, because since she was 29 years old and bobbing the knob of Willie Brown to get her position as district attorney 2 years later, she has been in the Clintons' eye. When I put it this way, when I decided that Hillary had no chance of running this time because she was too hated, I looked to see who in the Democratic Party was she going to use to basically run in her place as the most Hillary type. And that was Kamala. And had Kamala not been taken out in the primary by Tulsi Gabbard, we would be looking at a Kamala Harris running for president right now. I promise you. The only reason she got stuck doing VP is because Tulsi Gabbard took her down during one of the very first Democratic primary rallies, primary debates. There she is. Vice President nominee Kamala Harris dated him, first black mayor Willie Brown, in the 90s while he was still married. Brown is 31 years her senior. She was his constant companion on the campaign trail. They met while he was 60 and she was less than 30. Says Brown was state assembly speaker and appointed her to Unemployment Insurance Appeal Board and California Medical Assistance Commission, both lucrative positions. Wonder how much that cost her. Wonder how many times she had to go down on them old wrinkly balls. Anyway, this is Brown's wife. And so obviously, having that on his arm candy like that, to him was better than having her on his arm. The measure of flamboyance is he'll go to a party with his wife on one arm and his girlfriend on the other, says reporter from the Sacramento Bee in 1996. Brown insisted his date should absolutely be the best dressed women in the room. Nice. And then when they asked about Kamala Harris being prosecutor or going up to the district attorney's office, he told them that she was on her way up. She had, which is killing me because and you can think about it and be like, on her way up. Yeah, no, she's on her way down to get on her way up. That's what you mean. But he ended up ditching her when he became mayor, and there she is, about 5 people away from the wife while he was being sworn in. And there he is with his best bud, Bill Clinton. So how much she might play? Kamala might be considered the most, progressive VP that's running and blah, blah, blah. She's going to bring in all these extreme left policies, yes. But at the same time, she has the worst thing she has is the Clinton connections. Think about it. If she's got any connections to this man, you and I both know she's been compromised. Her compromise has been right out in the open. As well as gifting his young squeeze with a BMW, she reaped tangible benefits when Brown handed Harris two influential positions. Yep. So, let's see, anything else? Was there another one? Oh, now this is his girlfriend. He ditched her for a young white girl. Nice. Their estranged couple remain married, but Brown has gone on to have a baby with his chief fundraiser. Wow, this guy gets around. And it's all with women looking to sleep their way up. Kind of weird, huh? Hold on. Let's see what this says.
Presumptive.
Of course. Every time we try to play a Daily Mail one, even though I got the video accelerator on.
Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden has picked Senator Kamala Harris as his running mate, making her the first Black woman in U.S. history to be on a major presidential ticket. Biden on Twitter called Harris a, quote, fearless fighter for the little guy and one of the country's finest public servants.
The little guy? What little guy? You mean the one that got left in prison beyond his sentence so she could use him for cheap labor to fight wildfires? That little guy? Or the one who got a marijuana charge, or the one the single mother whose child was giving her a hard time about going to school, who then was threatened with being locked up if their child was tardy anymore.
Biden, the former vice president.
No, she did. I know, right? She had this. Her body double got more people than she did.
And was under increasing pressure from some Democratic leaders and activists for her to be African American. And now, Harris will be relied on to help drive the African American votes. The Democratic Party.
Hang on, Nikki. I'll tell you in a minute. No, Tulsi Gabbard took her out because Tulsi Gabbard knew about everything I just told you about. She brought it up during the Democratic primary, and it was right after Kamala made everybody feel bad about Joe Biden and the whole segregation and the busing situation. So Kamala was like the sweetheart everybody was looking at. And she checked all the boxes, person of color, progressive. She had the attorney general background. There was all kinds of stuff that she had the Clinton connection. But Tulsi Gabbard wasn't about going with, you gotta remember in 2016, Tulsi Gabbard is the one that she resigned from the DNC. She was the president at the time because of the funny business that was going on, because Hillary Clinton basically had bought the DNC for the 2016 election, and she was controlling everything because they were broke and they needed her money. While Tulsi Gabbard came in then and made a big deal and resigned publicly and whatnot. And then when she ran for president this time, she ran as a very conservative, middle of the road Democrat, and they knew that she could win, but they hadn't corrupted her yet. They hadn't bought her out. She wasn't going along with any of their bullshit. She had very conservative Democrat, like very, very right-leaning Democratic policies. And during the primary, she went after Kamala because she could see that Kamala was who they were trying to, that was the one. She went for the big guy instead of going for the bottom guy. She shot for the top, and she took down Kamala, bringing up everything I just brought up to you, locking up people for smoking marijuana when she laughed about it, doing it herself on a radio station, leaving people locked up past their sentencing date so she can use them for cheap labor. Just an array of things that she had done as her time as attorney general, and basically took out the possibility of her running for president. Not to mention she's not black. Come on now. She's got Jamaican. Her grandfather on her Jamaican side owned an entire oh my, I just had a brain fart. He owned slaves, but he owned what do you call it? A plantation of slaves in Jamaica. Just so you know. There's an entire document you can look it up, Google it. His name was I'm trying to think. No, it's not here. His name, he's famous. It's a famous document, excuse me, that's already been released. So if you Google Kamala Harris's grandfather owned slaves in Jamaica, you'll see they were a very rich and powerful family in Jamaica. They owned slaves because, or they owned that many slaves on that plantation because of their power. But yet she pretends to be this left, progressive, and she attacks other people for their misunderstanding of Black history and whatnot, but she denies her own Black history. So there's that. And let's see here. Come on. There we go. Yes, she hid the evidence about a guy dying in jail. So this is just pretty much the same thing that we already went over about their affair or whatever. Play up her Black. It says, why does Kamala Harris play up her Black identity more than her Indian one? Of course. You know why? Because the Black identity thing gets the Democrats to think that means they own you. You know what I mean? If I can get all the Black people vote as one. They don't have their own thoughts. The majority will vote as one if we tell them that this is what's best for them. They don't have a mind of their own. That's what the Democratic Party believes. Truthfully. Until this election, I don't think they ever thought that would change, but that has changed. So I don't think there's anything on here that I didn't already pretty much tell you. Oh, except for the mother thing. She made it so that if you were your child was tardy, or your child had multiple absences, you weren't making your child go to school, you, the parent, went to jail. She thought that was hilarious, and she jokes about it. Cackled when she was interviewed about it. She cackled, her little cackle. Let's see what's going on, if there's any breaking news before I take a little lunch break. Let's see. Anything breaking? Oh, yes, that myth of the very fine people. I'm so over that. I've explained it too many times, guys. Some people don't want to hear it the right way. They don't want to understand what was said. He didn't make fun. Well, how can he make fun of anything? His own words don't come out right 92% of the time. Here we go. Let's check this out. Trump's campaign building an army of poll watchers. It says, what can they actually do? This is the New York Times, guys. Check it out.
This year, as the president has been talking about...
Hamilton Brown, Nikki, you're a genius.
Fake ballots.
That's who it is.
An election, and we can't let that happen.
I can't do that while I can't do pull up my research while I'm doing this, because I get like, you ever get that, like when you're doing something, like you're speaking out loud, you can think at the same time, but when you're trying to dig back for a name, it's like I need a second, but I can't stop talking or I'm gonna have an awkward silence. So yes, Hamilton Brown. Thank you, Nikki. I appreciate that. That was Kamala's grandfather who owned the slave plantation.
Watch very carefully.
I think he owed almost 200 slaves.
Watch all the thieving.
And that was until like the early 60s.
There's no evidence of widespread voter fraud in U.S. elections.
This is
Still,
New York
the
Times,
president
guys.
talks about recruiting an army of poll watchers.
It's taken on such an aggressive
It is
nature
not.
in a way that we've kind of never seen before. It's very frightening to.
Oh no, the victims are back at it again, guys. Oh.
With a veneer of antagonism, combat, and not in the spirit of protecting our elections.
But it's more than just rhetoric. This year, the Republican Party can throw its full weight on the president's poll watching operations in ways we haven't seen for nearly 40 years. To understand why, let's take a trip back in time.
Wherever I go, people ask me what a New Jersey vacation is like.
To a governor's race in New Jersey in 1981.
When I ran in that election, it was a very interesting election, to say the least.
This was the Democratic candidate James Florio, and here he is now.
I mean, it's a long time ago. That's 40 years ago.
The race was an early referendum on the Reagan administration.
I like Tom Kean.
Kean has endorsed Reaganomics and proposed cuts in state taxes on business. The Democratic candidate, Congressman James Florio, attacks both Reagan's and Kean's economic plans.
We thought it would be an election on the merits of the issues.
Revitalizing our railroads, cleaning up toxic waste, strengthening law enforcement.
Turned out it was not all involving the merits.
It was the closest fought election in the history of the state. But as it turns out, it wasn't a clean fight.
Election day yielded some surprises to a lot of people that went to the polls, because people saw off-duty policemen with armbands that said they're members of the Ballot Security Task Force.
That's the Republican group, which, according to state Democrats, intimidated some minority voters.
Looked very official, and they were standing there with their guns.
They obstructed voters from casting ballots, but also they obstructed access by poll workers.
Oh, they're whining.
More than 200 task force members showed up at the polls,
You poor
confronting
babies.
voters in Democratic strongholds. They were in Newark, but not in Short Hills. They were in Trenton, but
I'm
not
crying.
Preston. In Camden, but not in Cherry Hill.
If you look at the demographics of the neighborhoods that were targeted for these efforts,
Stop.
they were all predominantly
So it's
Black
racist
and
now.
Latinx neighborhoods.
I'm
White-
done. I can't play another second of this bullshit. Are you kidding me? Now the poll watchers are being racist. They're targeting black neighborhoods. Are you effing? Do you know how scared white Trump supporters are right now to be in any neighborhood, let alone a predominantly black neighborhood who may be voting democratically and wearing their Trump gear and supporting Trump out loud? Are you kidding me? Bullshit. I call bullshit. 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 That's the end of that. That just pissed me off. I'm so sorry for my language, but that made me, I'm so tired of everything being racist. There's always these undertones that they try to create that just aren't there. Browntown, Nikki, yes. And then she ended up having that affair with Willie Brown, so it kind of was funny. So this is Judicial Watch, guys. They're coming on in a few minutes, so I'm going to hurry up and get this done because I want to find out what's going on this new because the FBI claims to be done with the laptop. They've had it since January or December of last year. How are you done with the laptop and not charging Hunter Biden with child prawn? If you know what I mean, child prawn. Hang on. I love this girl. I want to see what she's going to say. She called out Lil Wayne. Candace Owens did. Then we'll get going. Tom Fitton. Yeah, Tom Fitton's the best. I love him.
What's going on?
Actually, real quick, President Trump is thinking about appointing Tom Fitton in I can't remember what the position is, but it would have to do with making sure that there was transparency in the FOIA process. He'd be perfect for it.
So I am back. We're here to talk about SJW woke celebrities getting the slap down they deserve. And who is the one person you'd want to slap down on SJW? Candace Owens, of course. So we're going to get her response to Chelsea You Ain't Black Handler, and we're also going to get Chelsea Handler's response to Lil Wayne after he threw his support behind Donald Trump. So let's get into it. But it all started here a few days ago when 50 Cent decided to support Donald Trump.
I can't believe those. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, right. Nikki, that would be amazing.
Trump 2020.
I don't know if he would do it, but I think that would be amazing.
He was black and that he can't vote for Donald Trump.
Look at that. He says another spin with a funny look on his face, like, whatever. He says, and then he jokes around, fuck Donald Trump. I never liked him. For all I know, he had me set up and kill my friend and had my friend Angel Fernandez killed, but that's history. And he goes, like, he's basically joking around, like, all right, yeah, I'll say fuck Donald Trump to hit that ass again. But I guarantee he'd still vote for Trump to not lose that 62% of his income.
Clearly a racist comment. Then almost everyone out there called her out for it. As you can see here, the Babylon Bee, Chelsea Handler patrols polling places to make sure no black people are voting for Trump. She's overseeing
it's the Bee guy. Just so everybody knows, it's the Babylon Bee. I mean, it's not a real. It's a satire news. It's not real news. Okay, satire. Make sure I announce that so I can.
Or no one steps out of line. But it's not surprising that Chelsea Handler's crowd, the SJW woke crowd, were remarkably silent on this issue. Where were the voices calling around?
Oh, here it is. That's what I wanted to watch.
And then Lil Wayne came out, and he's like, I'm no 50 Cent. I'm going Trump 2020, and I'm not backing down. No one is using me as a handbag. He may be small in stature, but he's obviously big in the mind. That's what's going on. Then Chelsea Handler chimes in and tries to passive-aggressively call out Lil Wayne. Check this out. Here she is. She says, as a white person, it is unacceptable for me to tell anyone of color how to vote. You just did. You just told 50 Cent.
Does she have like multiple personality disorder?
Scumbag. She says, but I can remind anyone who supports Donald Trump that he's a white you-know-what, and it is our responsibility as a society to stand up to white you-know-whats and say no more. Again, implying that Lil Wayne doesn't have the intellect to make his own decision, that we need the woke SJW Hollywood elites, in quote me. Look, I'm half white. Maybe I'm biased. But we have Candace Owens here, who's obviously black, as you can see, and let's watch her slap the shit out of Chelsea You Ain't Black Handler.
But I just saw a news headline that Chelsea Handler, who used to date 50 Cent, I guess had one of her very many emotional breakdowns on the internet when she found out that 50 Cent said that he did not want to vote for Joe Biden because of his tax plan. All right, I've already covered for you why what 50 Cent is saying makes perfect sense. Unfortunately, people don't understand that 50 Cent does not need to vote according to his skin color. He needs to vote according to his brain cells in terms of what is going to help him.
Right. Selfish voting. There's nothing. I got to keep pausing it, guys, so I don't get a copyright strike. What did we talked about this the other day. I call it selfish voting. I fought 7 years after prison. I did my prison term. I had a nonviolent felony. I've been sober ever since. I've never been in trouble since. I've never even had any interaction with a police officer since then. Okay, that's a lie. One time I did, but that wasn't my own fault. That was my landlord calling about the smell of marijuana, and all the officers had never seen a medical marijuana card before. So 7 of them showed up to all look at my medical marijuana license and card because it was new at the time and they hadn't seen it and they couldn't do a damn thing about it. So anyway, that's the only interaction I've ever had with police since then. And I fought 7 years to get my voting rights back. 7 years I had to stay out of trouble. 7 years I had to do the right thing and be a productive member of society. And I finally got my right to vote back. To me, my right to vote is earned. It was not, it was taken away from me before I even knew how to, that my, that there was I guess how I put it this way. I lost my right to vote before I knew how important it was to me. How about that? I spent 7 years fighting to get it back because I knew that that it was a power in my hand. So when I say that, I fought for it, I want everybody to know my story. I spent 7 years requesting every year, this year, can I have it this year? And I didn't even have a violent felony or anything, guys. I had only been in trouble once in my entire life. And that is the only charge I've ever had. But yet anyway, my point is, for those of us who fought to get it back, we take it seriously and we selfish vote. We vote for what works in our life. And Donald Trump had made promises to the people that we could actually see in our lives, not just words, not just hope and change and stuff that never went, and shovel ready jobs and all this bullshit fed to me on a spoon. Just real. I'm going to do this, and he does it. That simple. That works for me. That's selfish voting, and I'm okay with that.
And I quote, she went on to Jimmy Fallon a couple of nights ago, presumably last night, and she said, I quote, I had to remind him that he is a black man, so he can't vote for Donald Trump. If you are watching this video and you do not understand how racist that sentence is, I had to remind him that he is a black man, so he can't vote for Donald Trump. How do you look at a black person and tell them what they can or cannot do because of the color of their skin and not realize that you are the racist? I'm asking a serious question, and I'm asking this, open this up to the liberals, open up people that don't like me, don't follow my work, don't understand what it is we are talking about as black conservatives. How can you hear a sentence where you say to a black person, as a white person, that you are not allowed to do this because you're black, and not realize that you are speaking like a segregationist, like a slave plantation owner, like a racist, like the racist that we have studied and learned about in school.
Yes.
When Black Americans were not allowed to do certain things in American society because of the color of their skin. One of them being voting. Black Americans at a certain point did not have the right to vote until after the Civil War because of the color of their skin. If you are a liberal and you think that you are fighting for black rights, and yet you get angry every time a black person tells you that after thinking and coming to their own free decision, they have decided that they want to vote for someone that you disagree
right.
with, and you're impulsive.
It's okay. You're black. You should vote what's best for you. Well, I'm gonna vote for Donald Trump. Well, fuck you then. You're a piece of shit. I don't give a. Your life doesn't matter. That's exactly how it is. Black lives matter if you're voting for a Democrat. If you're not, your life doesn't matter.
Decision is to tell them you are a black person and therefore you are not allowed to do it. You're a racist. I know, crazy, right? Because you guys have just been thinking that you're not the racist and you've been going around calling everybody a racist. And then you sit here and you tell black Americans what they can and cannot do because they're black. Wake up. Maybe if you start with this Chelsea Handler quotation, you might realize why so many conservatives think that liberals are the real racists.
Amen.
And you get angry when a black person doesn't think the way you think they're supposed to think. It's not because you care about black people.
No.
It's because you're a racist and you're...
Get him, Candace. Sorry, I snorted. All right, I don't want to see any more of his video. SC Reviews, guys. SC Reviews, if you're interested. I always make sure I shout out because I never know, that's somebody else's content. So, don't forget this. Don't forget this. This is so important, you guys. This family can't get into office. This family cannot get into office. And we just need to be, this was the last thing, and then I'm going to go for a couple hours, and I will be back at 8 if Salty's not on, and if Salty is on, I will be back as soon as he's done.
Kayleigh McEnany, she's a Trump 2020 campaign advisor. Kayleigh, we tried to get a hold of you a little earlier. We were having trouble with your transmission. I know today's the closing argument, but really what you're trying to do is, you've got a great ground game. You're just trying to get all the people who you think are on the Trump team to show up by tomorrow.
Yes, and we have no doubt about that. Look, Steve, when we have these rallies and you have literally 45,000 RSVPs in a state, that should tell you something. We have a ground game. We turn out voters. You have Democrats who have made the biggest political miscalculation in modern American politics by not knocking on doors. They didn't start that until mid-September, hiding in the basement. The basement strategy will not work. President Trump will prevail on Election Day voting and beyond.
All right, so where will y'all be on election night, Tuesday night? If he does win, are y'all going to be together and celebrating?
Hell yeah, we are.
Yes, we will be together.
Oh yeah, guys.
There at the White House.
Listen, live streaming tomorrow night starting at 8 until we hear something. Yes, we know we're not going to get the answer that we've gotten in every election before now, but we'll know. If there's a landslide, they won't be able to hide it, just like they couldn't in 2016. So if you're interested, we'll hop. I'm going to be hopping around too. So come here and we'll hop around and check out other live streams. We'll see where the election's at, and I won't stop until we get an answer. Hell, we went until like 3 a.m. in 2016, 4 a.m. Check it out. Hang on. My Trump 2020 coins going in my pocket. I'm wearing my Trump 2020 shirt, my 45 shirt, my Keep America Great Again hat. And I'll be off to vote first thing in the morning. So, yeah, I'm excited. I don't care if I got to wait in line for 5 hours. I'm going to wait there, and I'm going to enjoy every stinking minute of it. Everybody, I'll see you tonight. Have a great afternoon. Trump 2020, baby. It's almost here. Here we go.